Alright, so today's project is doing all of the end of season maintenance on a 2016 TTR 230. Had a good summer of riding, but dropped it many times. So we've got some levers to fix. This one's just a stub. Got the clutch lever as well, brake lever. So we've got to replace both of those. I'm going to clean out the air filter under the seat. I'm going to clean up the chain. It's not too bad, but we'll clean this up and oil it up for next year. And in the next video, we'll also change the oil. I'll do it in this video, but I haven't gone and picked up oil. So we'll do that in the next video. Here's there's a grease zerk for the rear swing arm. There's two of them. There's one on this side right there. So we'll grease that up as well. So here's what I'm going to be using. You've got your air filter cleaner. You've got the air filter, I don't know what you call this, oil, I guess. We've got our new levers. Got these on eBay. I've got a soft bristle brush, and I'm going to use that on the chain. We've also got some chain lube, some degreaser. I'm going to use this on the chain as well. We've got our grease gun with some all-purpose grease in there, and some various 10mm sockets and wrenches and stuff. So let's start with, I think we're going to start with the levers. These are the easiest ones, so we'll start there. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray some of that chain wax lube that I have. I'm going to spray it down this clutch cable wire as well, just down here, and let it sit up here and soak in for a while we remove that the brake lever on the other side. It should just help with keeping this smooth. It's not bad, but it could be better. So let's do that real quick. I know it's not the right way to do it, but this is what I have, so that's what I'm using. You can get actual cable lube attachments and actual cable lube spray, but it's better than nothing. And I'll just prop it up here for a while, let it soak in while we take that other lever off. It'd be a lot easier if I didn't lose the straw that goes on here, but I don't know where it is, so. Okay, we'll prop that up here. And then you use a clamp to help hold it up. Let it soak in. right, so we got that on there. Once we start it up, we can kind of play with where with the clutch and where it engages. I usually like it pretty sensitive, but you know, somewhere right in here. But I can play with that later. So let's get the chain cleaned up next. So I don't have a proper stand, but a bucket doubled up works pretty well. So now I can rotate that tire and get the entire chain cleaned up. So let's get that. So one thing that's important to remember when you're running a rag along your chain is to make sure that you're not grabbing it in the direction of the rear sprocket, because if your rag gets caught or your finger gets caught and it gets eaten by the sprocket, it's going to tear into your finger. So, you know, roll it away this way. At least if my hand gets caught, you know it's going to hit the bucket or the kickstand. This way, there's really not much here stopping you getting caught in this sprocket. All right, so we've got the chain all greased up, pretty good. The chain slack seems pretty good. It's because it's sitting up like this. This is more than when if it was sitting on its rear tire. So this is within, I think 2 inches is the max. This is barely an inch, I think, even sitting on the bucket. So let's move on to greasing the rear swing arm bushings, and I'm using these little Zerks back here. There's one on this side and there's one on the other side too, on the same spot. Let's do that real quick. We've got the bushings greased up on both sides, so let's move on to the air cleaner, air filter, and it's on the left side of the bike under this cover, and I think there's just this screw right here and a screw down there, and yeah, 2 screws down here. So this cover should come off and you should have access to the air filter. So okay, got all the screws out. Let's get the cover off now. Yeah, it's filled with gunk, mud, tons of mud in here. Good thing we're cleaning it then. And this thing is just soaked. So we'll just take it off of here. We'll go over to the utility sink, get this washed off and re-oiled up, and then we'll clean all this out in here. That's why it's important when you're doing a lot of wet riding, is to take this tube off of here and let all this stuff drain out. Mine looks like it's clogged with mud. But that's what that's for. So if you ever get any water in your airbox, you can let it all drain out of this drain hole. All right, I'm gonna start with some simple green, some hot water, and I'll move on to the air filter cleaner. All right, so it says we gotta let it sit there for about 15 minutes, and we'll come back and we'll hose it off and we'll let it dry. All right, so it's been about 15 minutes. So let's get this thing rinsed off. You can see it just dissolves all the old filtered oil on here. Let's get some hot water and we'll clean this up, and then we'll set it out to dry and we'll install it, or we'll re-oil it tomorrow and we'll install it. Okay, it's the next day. This is all dried up. So let's go ahead and recharge it with some of this stuff, some of the filter oil, and then I've also got the airbox cleaned up mostly. It's still kind of dirty, but it'll do. And we'll get everything reinstalled, and then we can move on to doing the oil. But that might be the next video because this one's running kind of long. So let's get to the oil, to the air filter. All right, I think that's gonna be everything for this video. We've got the chain done, we've got air filter cleaned out, we've got the new levers on. So in the next video, we'll go ahead and do the oil and oil filter change on it. So I'll have a link to that in the bottom. All right, see you guys.